I think around 500 to 600K. I've managed to book profits from just from trades. So no commissions, because I also take some commissions in this industry. The first 2 years were a mess. I was scammed. I was losing my money on a lot of stuff. But after COVID, that was the last thing that pushed me down, because the market started to crash and I got liquidated everywhere. I received roughly around approximately actually I think 40K. Not 30. Yeah, around 14. Yeah, it's good. I could do better, but in November when Trump won the elections, I put on a live account particular $500, and I shorted gold, longing cryptos and everything, and I made from $500 in 2 days 10K.
So are you going to go ahead and show us this trading strategy that has brought you all this success? Hello and welcome back to another Alpha Capital Group Traders interview. Well, today I'm joined by a trader who has reached max allocation with Alpha Capital Group, who has $300,000 of funding. Not only that, but he's achieved $30,000 in payouts. It's going to be a great interview. Really looking forward to it. So trader, who are you and where are you from?
Hello guys, I'm Alexandros, and I am half Romanian and half Greek, but my residence is Romanian. And I started trading back in 2019. I'm only 25 years old, so I started when I was around 18 years old. But it was very tough, actually. My first 2 years were a mess. I was scammed. I was losing my money on a lot of stuff. But after COVID, that was the last thing that pushed me down, because the market started to crash and I got liquidated everywhere. Right. I started to say to myself, okay, let's make some money. I don't care to make huge profits in a day. Let's be consistent. Let's try to make money. Every business that's profitable is gonna be good. So I started to be a lot more disciplined since then.
Amazing. So how does it feel coming from that point where you were losing all that money to now being actually max allocated with Alpha Capital Group and being $300,000 of funding? That is massive. That's a great achievement.
Yeah, well, I started to open accounts with Alpha Capital Group, I think around 1.5 years ago, something like this. It was after, if you guys know, in the prop industry, the My Forex Funds company that crashed. After that, I saw an ad with Alpha Capital Group. They were giving actually nice discounts also, and I said, okay, good, let's start here. So I started from then to work with Alpha Capital Group, and it was actually a very smooth. It was, and it still is, a very smooth company where I can trade without. I never had an issue with any payouts, for example, because this is a huge issue in the industry. So I never had an issue with payouts. I always got paid on time. Trading conditions were really good. So it's my top favorite firm.
Amazing. And what does that payout number look like? How much have you actually received from us?
I received roughly around, approximately, actually, I think 40K. Not 30. Yeah, around 40K. Yeah, it's good. I could do better, but
always a room for improvement, definitely. So overall then, how much have you actually received from trading in general? Now, I'm not just talking with Alpha Capital Group, but in the actual...
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, because I also have live accounts.
Really?
Yeah. And I also trade on futures. I trade on in many ways. I trade also for other people on live accounts, like PEM, PEM accounts, where you are a manager. Yeah. So I don't know, but the thing is that I'm a full-time trader. Okay, so I'm doing this full-time, and I have started to be profitable since 2020. So I've been in the industry profitable for 5 years. I think around 500 to 600K. I've managed to book profits from trades. So no commissions, because I also take some commissions in this industry. But now I'm trying to focus on only trading, and only trading my own capital and my prop firm capital, and gain from this. For example, I don't trade anymore. I don't have any more PAM accounts, so I don't manage capital for other guys anymore.
Right. Okay. So that's interesting. So you actually trade live funds as well. What do you feel the difference is from trading live funds and a funded account?
Well, look, it's a lot better to have a live account. from my point of view. But if you don't have the money, you need to go access those funds from prop firms.
Yeah.
So my strategy actually was because I didn't have money when I started to trade. So I started with prop firms, and with the payouts, I was trying to put around 50% in a live count.
Yeah, very smart.
And also the difference is that I'm trying to take less risk on the live account than on the prop firm account, because on the prop firm account, okay, I have, for example, an account of 100K, but I'm gonna go for a risk of around 1% per trade. In a live account, I'm going for around 2 or 3%, because on 1% you have only 10 shots. If 10 shots are not gonna be good, you're gonna lose the account.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
interesting. With the live account, then what size live account do you actually trade at the moment?
At the moment, I have a 50K live account. So, but I'm trying to grow it. I had a bigger account, but I want to be transparent. I had a pretty tough year from 2023 to 2024. It was a messy year for me because my forex funds happened, and I had 1.2 million at them because I was max allocated, but also scaled accounts. I had scaled accounts. I had 3 accounts of 400K. I got denied because of that. I didn't receive around 50K payouts. I was living in a house that was very expensive. I was paying the rent. It was a big mess, whole big mess. And since then, it took me around 6 months to recover a bit. So now I'm taking things slow. I also have a daughter now. She's only 6 months old.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's really amazing then, that you know.
It was a quite nice journey, but also it was a tough journey.
I can see that, and what I'm dying to see it now. So I know I'm gonna ask you. So I'm gonna ask you now because I'm dying to see it. I know everyone watching this video is dying to see it. So are you gonna go ahead and show us this trading strategy that has brought you all this success?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, for sure. Good. So before I start to show things on the chart, because there are actually not so many things to show, it's gonna be about having a discipline, first of all. So you need to be disciplined, okay? Also, I want to let you know that my strategy actually is to try to catch big moves, true moves, because price usually consolidates, making a base, gathering huge amounts of orders, and then it's going to just flow a lot of money or volume, as you wish to say it, to go from point A to point B. I don't like to get into the market when it's choppy because it's pissing me off. To say it like this, pissing me off. It's getting my brain crazy. So I'm going to be patient enough to look at those key levels and key points in volumes also, to understand when I need to enter in a trade and start to scale also positions. So, for example, I'm gonna buy a breakout to the upside. After I will take an initial position, and after I see that it's confirming, I'm looking on smaller time frames to add more positions on that particular trade. Yeah, and my asset is gold. So I trade 95% gold. It's my favorite asset. I'm trading it since 2020. I know where was gold in every point also in my life. So we have a very big connection,
Yeah.
I also trade Dow Jones and Nasdaq, but only if I see something very interesting on the weekly or monthly time frames. Okay, good. So let's go and show you some examples. I think the best way is to show some examples, right? And let's go with something fresh. So, for example, last week.
Let's do it.
Okay, good. So, sorry, it's a mess here. So I use this these candles that you see, that I call them FUs, are from a guy that I took some courses. Are candles that takes liquidity from the previous candles and close above, so it's like a fake out kind of stock. It's a liquidity grab pattern. I use it a lot on 1 minute time frames. That's why I have the script put on on my chart. Good. So, for example, last week I was looking at gold on the weekly time frame, and I could see that we had a massive rejection on the weekly closure. Okay, and this candlestick here, for example, is flat. In my strategy, this indicates me that it's weak low. Okay, and it's an imbalance and it's liquidity. So I was looking for this week because we had 2 weeks that gold was just dumping, and I actually was in those shorts. I will explain you after also why I took those shorts. So this week I was in particularly looking for longs. Okay, good. So I'm using always, I have on another chart, I'm using Asia sessions, high, low, and midpoint, and I'm looking always on Monday lows and Monday highs, because if a week is going to be bullish, it needs to break above the start of the week, which is Monday, and go past through it. So last week, for example, we had Monday high here, Monday low here, and I was looking for this particular trade to go up and break the Monday high and stay above it. It broke actually very rough, so I didn't enter because I didn't catch a good entry. So I said to myself, okay, I'll wait and I'll see if I can find a good entry for after that. It's gonna give me an entry. And my final target was the gap that was created last week on Monday, which was about here. Okay, and because I also use Fibonacci retracements, I said that an extended good target would be the 78 level. Good. So it went up like crazy. I didn't catch any of the buys here. And I said, okay, it's going to retrace sometime, but it already filled the gap, which pissed me off massively. So when it shorted here, I was looking at these levels here because we have the most concentrated volumes here. So this is where it shorted. We have the volumes here, and here we had a gap of volume. So it could be a rough sell-off, come back to the Monday high to retest the Monday highs. So I tried to be picky and see if the longs are going to happen from here or not.
Yeah.
Good. After I saw that it created a nice, pretty little base, right here, gold gave the entry. Right here, after it created the base, broke through here with very good volume. I also use footprints, and I'm looking at the delta, if it's positive, if it has a lot of volume, if it has on the ticks still orders left to fill, and so on. So I joined longs at the breakout, and then I was looking at this area before this high, because on the daily time frame we have this was Thursday, and on Friday longs happened and I took the longs. So this candlestick on Thursday took the high of the previous of Wednesday, took the lows of Wednesday, and closed inside. So when it came up here, I was looking for a potential profit taking or also a sell, even though I saw that the longs were in control anyway. And also Trump tweeted something with Europe on tariffs. He's gonna tariff 50% in Europe, and this is actually what drove gold to blast off through the tops since Trump came in his mandate. And I forgot to mention that I also look at fundamentals a lot. It gives me an edge on what to look on and what to trade, what my bias should be, Okay. Anyway, and after that, I said to myself, here I booked most of the profits. I also, unfortunately, took some sells, which I took a loss. And after I had this huge, nice breakout, I started to look again at longs. I took some longs also here, and I exited on market on market close because I don't like to hold my positions over the weekend because now we have huge gaps and you can get liquidated really ugly.
Yeah.
Does it make sense what I
100%, yeah, really good, mate. So, would you be able to show us how you actually execute an entry trade? Where would you actually put your entries?
why would I execute my entries? Okay, good. Look, for example, I executed this particular entry on the breakout here of this, however you want to call it, concentrated area, resistance, whatever you want to call it. When I saw that I have good volume kicking in on the buys, and it had, I told you before that it consolidates a lot, and then it's going to blast off from one point to another point. Okay, so I had here also imbalance here, also imbalance here. Price need to test this area, but it's not always okay. It's gonna test it. It can just let it untested and test it in 3 months. But when I saw the confirmations of buys kicking in, I entered with an entry at around. Actually, I entered before. Yeah, I entered at around 3303. So around here, okay. I entered here, and I put my stops here because this was the last low. I always use the stops, the last low for my move. So this was the last low on 5 minutes and also on the hour. Yeah, this was the last low also on my hour. So that's how I managed to enter my positions. I'm looking for this kind of confirmations on breakouts. I also try sometimes to take the lowest low possible or the highest high possible with small stops, but it never, it's not so accurate. So you can take pretty much a lot of losses, but the risk to reward is going to be huge. You know?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for explaining that strategy. It's really
So this position actually, let's see also the risk to reward. So we had until the first target, it was around 1 to 2.5. And I kept some runners until the 78 area. Okay, not really. At 59, I closed mostly everything. So 1 to 4.5.6.
well, mate. Honestly, that is quite the strategy you've got there, mate, and it's clearly working really well for you. I mean, that some of the risk to rewards you've just broke down there, mate, they're mind blowing. That's some.
My best risk to reward trade, sorry to bother you, was this one. This one was a baby. This one was the prettiest baby ever. So gold started to go up massively. Here was Liberation Day, I think. It sold off. And then it started to buy just like crazy. And I said to myself, okay, one day this thing is gonna melt. I didn't catch any of the buys. I wasn't going against the market, but I said when I'm gonna see some confirmations, I want to sell it for minimum 2,000 pips, minimum.
Yeah.
So I was watching it every day. See potential sell setups. I was taking small losses. I was taking break evens. And here at the top, I entered on, I will show you on the 5-minute time frame. And this is the last one. Sorry, I don't want to waste your time, but
no, you're fine, bro. Tell us.
it's actually a really nice trade. It's my best trade of the year, I think. Okay, so here I have this order, this concentrated area, this break through it. So this is actually a pretty clean fake out. Okay, I saw also very huge amounts of sell orders on the footprints, and I said, when it's gonna take this liquidity here at 3488, I'm gonna enter shorts with stops above here. So I shorted around. I caught the entry at 86 when it started to drop already. I put my stops here at 3500, and I closed right here at 3420 was my tip.
Wow.
3420, yeah, here. Okay, it's again up. 1.4.6, but it's a lot of pips, because
How much profit did you bank on that trade then?
I banked 15K.
Wow, very well done, mate. That's very impressive.
Yeah,
Well,
it was a nice trade. Yeah.
thank you.
But I didn't take it on Alpha Capital Group, actually, unfortunately, but it was a nice trade. Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. Right, well, thank you very much for sharing your strategy. I must say you've got quite the strategy there. It's really interesting. See some of these risk to rewards that you're bringing in. That's not something you find, so it's really interesting to see the way you trade. But I want to find out a little bit more about yourself now before trading. So tell us a little bit about your journey and how you started.
Yeah, actually, this is the best thing, this is the most important thing. I started to trade because I wanted freedom for myself. I'm a guy that likes a lot to do sports, but I like water sports, it's my Greek island boy kind of stuff going into this mess. So I said to myself, okay, I think this is the only job that I can take to do, and I can live freely from everywhere. So it was a dream to achieve trading, and it suited a lot with myself. It was something amazing to suit with myself. And I tried a lot of things. I finished the school here in Bucharest. I went to a university. I didn't want to finish it. I dropped out at the last year, and I said to myself, "Okay, I'm gonna do this." And I was very, very consistently disciplined on this after 2 years of just losses until I made it. And when I made it, I love to travel. I started to travel in a lot of countries. I wanted to move to Bali for good, but unfortunately, my wife and my mother said to me, "What are we gonna do there? It's tricky, blah blah blah." But right now, my wife, for example, wants it. She's looking into it, but she doesn't want to live there. She's tricking me. She wants to go there for 5, 6
Your holiday. Yeah.
and yeah, it's tricky. But I love it because I remember when I was there for 1 month, I was waking up, trading a bit the Asian session, then I was going to surf. I was coming back home, and in the evening, because this is how the time zone is there, I was trading the New York session. I hate London session. I know you guys are from London, but I hate it. It's it's very very rarely I trade London. Before
Yeah, not had the best experience with London session then, no?
yeah. No. It's very messy. It's very choppy. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Well, that's amazing, mate. I'm glad to see you starting to see some of your rewards, some of your hard work paying off, getting this type of freedom. And I've heard Bali, yes, the time zone is actually one of the best places to be for trading because the way it aligns with the sessions.
Yeah, it's good. It's very good actually because you catch in the morning the Asian session, which lately it's massive. It's huge. Asian session is amazing, and the New York session, which okay, I think actually New York session is gonna fall in
Really?
time. Yeah, this is what I see. I see that Asia is taking control over the market.
You think Asian's going to be the main session?
Yeah, this is what I'm seeing. Is gonna start to be the main session. I think it is, but it's just not in the books. It's not on the.
No, you don't hear many traders trade in the Asian session. No, I would completely agree with you on that. But that's interesting that you think that Asia is going to take over. We'll see what the market presents itself with. Okay, so so what would you say are some of the hardest struggles you face along your journey?
What did you say? Sorry, I think.
What would you say some of the hardest struggles are you faced? Difficult times.
Dealing with myself. Yeah, dealing with myself.
Tell me about it.
Starting to overtrade because I got angry with not being right. Starting to be egocentric. Starting to take revenge trades. No, I want it today. No, I think this is the biggest issue with traders in general, with retail traders, because if you have a ton of money, you're gonna stick to a plan, you don't care. But if you don't have money, you don't have the money. So when I started, I didn't have money. My father has money, but he didn't support me in this. He always said, It's never gonna work. I'm never gonna do it.
Yeah,
Now I proved him, and he's actually very proud of me. And he's like speaking with his friends. Oh, this guy, he's like working on the Wall Street. He's amazing. He's very clever. And all this stuff, But it's difficult if you don't have the money in trading. It's expensive. Again,
you want it there and then as well. You want it now. There's no patience with it.
So
How to go.
it's difficult to be patient with small amounts of money. That's the biggest issue, I think, with retail traders.
So how did you go ahead and actually overcome this then?
After 2 years of losses, so it took me 2 years, I was pretty stubborn. I said to myself, okay, let's make some money. I don't care how much, but let's make some money. And don't be greedy. And I started to don't oversize my trades, first of all, to respect the plan. So I'm going to take this trade because I like it. It's looking good. If I take a stop loss, I'm not going to insist on this. Only if it's going to show me again that the market will restructure and will show me, okay, you have to buy it again or you have to sell it again if you are going for sets. And I was making small profits. I was also working in a company, and I made actually a deal with myself. 1 year, I didn't go out, and I am a party animal. I didn't go out. I didn't drink. I didn't do this. I lost. So I was 20 years old, I think, 20 or 20. Yeah, 20. From 20 to 21, I didn't do anything. All my friends were going out. They were partying. They were spending. They were going on holidays. I was just waking up at 5 a.m. Romanian time. I was looking at Asia. It was still Asia session then. I was looking if I can take some trades with small lots like 0.03, 0.05, And I was going to work. I was getting my salary. I was trying to keep also like 50, 60% of my salary off. I was living with my parents still. So I was investing that money also in my
Live account.
in my live account, yeah. And after some months of consistently making profits, but with small amounts of money, I started to speak also with people and ask for capital. Look, I made from $1,000, I made 5,000 in 6 months. It's amazing. It's 400% profit. In trading you can do it, but it's like you need to have the edge and the skills. But for example, me with small amounts of money, I'm going to take big risks. Right now that I don't have huge amounts of money, but I trade on pretty good amounts of money, I'm taking smaller risks. But if you need to do that level up, you need to take risks. Okay, so it's not going to happen. For example, in November when Trump won the elections, I put on a live account particular $500, and I said, okay, let's trade on betting that Trump's gonna win. And I shorted gold, longing cryptos and everything, and I made from $500 in 2 days 10K. So it can be possible, But
seriously, you take money from $500.
yeah, in 2 days.
Wow.
Yeah. But
Easy.
to have the skills and the guts to risk it, I was playing with I was fearless. You don't need to fear. Fear is very bad energy. So
that is pretty insane.
Yeah,
mate.
You need to have also balls, also to be consistent. It's very difficult. You need to. I think you just need to or go to a psychologist. I didn't do it, but maybe you need to do this or deal with yourself very good and understand yourself very good. Otherwise, trading is not for you. This is my personal advice for everyone.
No, I
very tough, very difficult, but I think you don't have limits. You can make here as much money as you wish. You don't have limits here.
I couldn't agree more on that, definitely.
The only limit is yourself, and that's it. It's just yourself in trading. If you take a job, you are gonna be limited. If you do real estate, also you are gonna be limited because you cannot buy all the land.
Yeah,
simple like that. But this market is so huge. You can take as much money as you impose yourself to take from the market. So I still don't take the amounts of money that I want. I want to take millions, billions from the market. But I'm still 25. I'm gonna find my ways to achieve it.
Doing quite all right for 25, mate. I must say you do very well. So overall, then, what would you say your experience has been like with Alpha Capital Group?
As I mentioned before, the experience was top from the beginning, and I'm not saying this because I'm making an interview with you. I'm transparent all the time. I never had any deal with Alpha Capital Group. I have, I think, 15 or 20 payouts. Every payout was paid in 2 business days. All my accounts were issued in 2 or 5 business days, as you mentioned in your, in your
FAQs.
in your emails. Uh, I never issued huge slippages. Have some slippages. It's normal. You are gonna have also on your live broker because it's the execution. If you're gonna hit your max daily loss because of slippage, it's not Alpha Capital Group. It's your problem that you over leveraged it. And you are putting your stops in the limit. Yeah, and it was amazing. Everything is good. I want actually to now, because I told you I had uh, my kid just born and so on and so on. Now I want to focus and try to scale my accounts. I saw that at every 10% on the account, you have another 10%. I want to scale it, and I want to ask you: is it 300k the max allocation or 400? Because I think it's 400.
It's 300k with one strategy,
Okay.
meaning you can trade one asset on 300k. And then if you wanted to trade another asset using the same strategy, but wanted to trade like silver, for example, and you trade gold, you get an additional 100k.
So I can take another one to trade Dow Jones, for example.
Yes, but if you
I'm gonna do it.
you can't trade the same assets on the
I'm gonna do it.
either account.
I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
Go for it, definitely. You can scale those accounts up to $2 million.
And the experience was amazing all the time. So I didn't have any issue. It's not the only prop firm that I deal with. Okay, but it's from the only prop firms that I didn't have issues because you take some emails. Okay, you did this, you did that. We are gonna deny your payout, but I didn't do something, and you cannot chat with them. You are gonna prove them. I'm a trader, so I trade for 6 years. I know how these rules work and what I should do. For example, I got a max daily loss hit. Okay, I will tell you an example with a prop firm. I don't want to mention the name, but I will tell you an example. Market resets when the market closes, correct? So that's when the daily drawdown resets, okay? I took a loss at around 1 hour and a half before the market closed, and the loss was 3%, okay? And the other night, so when the market reopened on Asia, I took an entry and I went to sleep. The entry was with a 2.5% risk and 7.5% profit. I woke up, I looked at the charts, and TP hit. Stop loss didn't hit. And I entered on the account, and the account was breached because I achieved max daily loss. So they reset the max daily loss at around 2 hours before the market closed. And in their frequently asked questions, they say that the daily drawdown resets when the market is closing, but they don't do it. So they're scammers, no?
Right.
Yeah, this industry is actually really tough, and your company is one of the best to go with.
Well, we appreciate that. It's great to have your client as well, because with yourself, for example, who is one of our top traders, we can then take you, offer you a position on the Alpha Prime floor and have you trade in one of our live accounts and trade in a live fund, if that's something you'd ever be interested in.
Yeah, I am. I spoke also with Matthew about maybe doing some things together. It's not gonna be so difficult also for me because I'm a full-time trader, so I can also come to London if it's needed. I can come a bit to your headquarters and so on, have a chat.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Amazing. So if there is one thing that you would ask Alpha Capital Group to add to our platform to enhance your experience, what would that be?
Wait, I have something in my mind. Yeah. To put the Alpha Pro account back to how it was, 8%.
That option's still available. It is still
Yeah, it's with add-on, and I think you have also 8% max loss now.
So there is some new account styles, but the original ones are still available as well.
Yeah, wait a second to look at it. Wait. Oh, I know one thing for sure. Add crypto. Add crypto. Oh, not a lot of cryptos. Add Bitcoin and Ethereum. Just these two. Just these two.
That's a new one. That's a new one. I've not heard that one before, but no, it's something definitely.
Yeah. Actually, it's something very nice. I made this year on Ethereum. Imagine on Ethereum, and Bitcoin killed Ethereum. But I think I made around 70K on Ethereum this year.
Wow, amazing.
And it's a good asset trade.
Yeah,
because it's not so difficult if you trade it at a more longer term scale. If you enter for scalping, you are gonna be smashed on Ethereum. That's for sure. So I don't recommend. Don't do this at home. But if you go with swing mindset on Ethereum, you are gonna kill it.
amazing. Alexandros, thank you very much for joining me today. We are going to wrap this up here. What an interview. So much value has been added to this. And like I said, you're one of our top traders. So before I let you go, if you had 3 top tips for a beginner trader starting out today, what would they be?
So don't be greedy, be disciplined and patient.
Well, there you have it, folks. That's Alexandros' 3 top tips, and it has been an amazing interview. So thank you very much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure talking to you, mate, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your trading month.
Thank you too, guys. Thank you for this experience to have me here, and for the product that you are giving to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much.